Welcome back, you're listening to NerrdPacck, it's the Nero, and this is my Wandavision episode 8 breakdown with all the Easter eggs. This episode was 46 minutes long, so there's so much to go through. So we're taken back in time to Salem, Massachusetts in 1693, where Agatha was put on trial by other witches for stealing knowledge and practicing dark magic. We see Agatha up to her lies again, pretending to act innocent.
I know nothing of these crimes. I swear it. Enough deception.
And the woman she's speaking to, we find out is her mother. So in this scene, Agatha was able to reverse the use of the energy blast as a way to absorb everyone else's life force. It looks like Agatha's mother was the queen, and this could give us a rough measure of how powerful Agatha really is. Now I think all the skulls we saw in the cupboard in her basement belongs to these fallen witches. We see the brooch Agatha wears was originally her mother's. Reminds me of when T'Challa took King T'Chaka's ancestral ring, like passing down the mantle of leader. Agatha must wonder when she attempts to read her mind and points out that her accent always comes and goes. Because in Age of Ultron, her accent was thick.
I want to finish the plan. I want the big one.
In Captain America Civil War, it was decent.
I used to think of myself one way, but after this, I am something else. I'm still me, I think.
By Infinity War, her accent faded and she sounded fully American.
The blade, it stopped me from phasing.
Is that even possible?
It wasn't supposed to be. My sister's
But in episode 5, when she came out of the Hex, her accent returned faintly.
This will be your only warning. Stay out of my home. You don't bother me, I won't bother you.
Wanda tries to use her powers against Agatha, and it doesn't work. Agatha thinks Wanda is a real witch. She's talking about protection spells and casting the runes. At this point, I'm starting to think that Agatha has no idea about the Infinity Gems, because Wanda isn't a witch, her powers are cosmic. We see the runes are hexagon shaped, and this rune is like a reference to House of M. Agatha called fake Pietro Fietro. She hoped bringing him would bring out the Scarlet Witch, which I still think is another House of M attempt. She explained that fake Quicksilver was her eyes and ears, and she used a crystallum possession, which I think is a possession spell. But she would have preferred to use necromancy, but the real body is too far away and full of bullet holes. In this scene, it looks like Agatha is breaking down the steps of how Wanda's powers would have worked if she was a witch.
Mind control. A classic. Quick incantation and a feeble psyche, and you're good to go.
This reminds me of the Scarlet Witch headgear and Magneto's headgear. It seems like Agatha is jealous of Wanda when she says, even towards the edge of town, your magic is on autopilot, which explains why she was there in episode 6.
Agnes? What are you doing here?
I find it strange how we never heard the twins at all during the basement scene. But when Agatha said she has them stored, they made a sound. We go back in time to Wanda's home where we see her parents for the first time. We find out that her dad sells DVDs for a living. And now we know the reason for the themes behind each episode. They were all memories from her childhood. We see young Pietro saying the rule for TV night is to practice their English, which could explain why Wanda can switch off her accent.
Pietro. He's loud, isn't he?
You said the only rule of TV night is we try to practice our English.
Yes, he is right. We were just making rid of last little bit of Sokovian.
We see Wanda has always worn red as her main colour. The first episode makes sense now. The Dick Van Dyke Show was her favourite sitcom.
Dick Van Dyke again? Always sitcom.
We see the scenes that Wanda reenacted in her version. We see the memory Wanda and Pietro were talking about in Age of Ultron.
3 feet from our faces. And on the side of the shell is painted one word.
Stark.
We were trapped for 2 days.
Every effort to save us, every shift in the bricks, I think this will set it off. We wait for 2 days for Tony Stark to kill us.
And Agatha thinks Wanda used the hex to stop the bomb from going off. We see the Hydra logo on the door, the scepter holding the Mind Stone, which means we're in the Hydra facility where Baron Strucker was doing human experimentations. It seems like the stone picked Wanda and revealed its true image to her. And if you look at the energy around the stone, it matches the light blue energy of the witches that tried to stop Agatha. We get a close-up look of the hexagon-shaped Mind Stone. This could be Agatha's mum, because if you look at her head, you can see what appears to be a crown. So did the stone give Wanda both mystic and cosmic powers? The scientists are getting the same jump cut scenes Darcy was getting in episode 4. It's like someone is censoring the footage. Okay, so Agatha might know about the Infinity Gems, but at this point she's not fully convinced that's her real source of power. Now we're in Civil War and Wanda has been locked away in a room after the situation that happened in Lagos. She's watching Malcolm in the Middle and this was the theme for episode 6. We see the start of Wanda and Vision's relationship and what could possibly have been the first time we see him laugh. Now we've come back to present time where Wanda storms into Sword HQ to get Vision back. I'm not sure, but I think this was meant to be paying homage to the late Kobe Bryant and his daughter. So Hayward was lying about Wanda breaking into Sword HQ, and the scene with Vision being teared apart by the Hex is memories of Vision in pieces. I don't think Wanda had any intentions of bringing back Vision, and now I believe that Hayward planted the idea of bringing Vision back to life in Wanda's head. Seeing her emotional state, I think he wanted her to take him and give him life. When she said, "I can't feel you," this is linked to the time in Infinity War when Vision asked Wanda,
Tell me what you feel.
Feel you.
Wanda really stuck with this red theme. We see Westview before the Hex, we see all the people we've seen appear in the show and the pool location Dottie used for her meeting in episode 2. We see that both Vision and Wanda got a property deed for land to grow old in. I think this happened just after Civil War and just before Infinity War happened. Wanda's emotional state literally bursts out and transforms the entire town. Everyone's theories, including mine about Wanda bringing back Vision from the dead, was wrong. She made a whole new one, but it seems like he was put together with a whole different energy source that resembles the Mind Stone. I think this is meant to show Agatha being behind the scenes as the showrunner and a viewer. We see Agatha in a comic style costume and she's got the twins at the end of her magic rope. We still don't know where the twins have been this whole time. Agatha refers to Wanda as a myth, a being of spontaneous creation, and makes a dig at episode 1 when she made breakfast for dinner.
Dinner is served.
Breakfast for dinner?
Who's this myth Agatha's talking about? If you know, let me know in the comments. So finally we get the Scarlet Witch name drop from Agatha, which is fitting because she teaches Wanda real magic in the comics, and the meaning of chaos magic is the power to manipulate reality. Knowing that Hayward lied about Wanda stealing Vision, I was thinking, what did he do with the real Vision's body parts? And he used the energy stored in the drone from episode 5 as a power source, similar to how Mystique cells were used in Days of Future Past to advance the Sentinels, and I think this could be the start of the Sentinels program. But thank you so much guys for watching. If there's Easter eggs I've missed, let me know in the comments. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe, smash that notification bell to stay updated, and like I always say, follow the pack, and I'll see you next video.